Thanks for joining me today to learn about running reports and creating your own reports in Posterita. Let's get started. Here I'm at the home screen. To access any of the reporting features, you simply go to Reports on the right-hand side of the screen. Now notice that we have several different types of reports. We've got sales reports, purchase reports, employee reports, till management reports, and stock reports. Let's just take a look at sales reports. I'm going to go ahead and go into product sales. And what I want to show you is how the system basically has built-in system reports. Now the built-in system reports will pull up here under the drop-down menu, as you can see. What a system report is it's basically a report that's pre-designed in there and it cannot be deleted or edited. However, you can create your own report. So let's just take a look at this system report first. Okay, notice that in this predefined system report we have the year, the month, the quantity sold, and the total number of sales here. So something that we can do if we want to customize this report with our own data that we need to pull up is we can actually hit copy template. Now copy template will bring up some different things that we can use to sort the data and specify parameters that we need for this report. So first we can actually rename the report. And I'm just going to rename it based on a sales rep that we have working in this store. So basically I can go through here and choose what store we're searching for. We can, if that's important, you can choose what terminal you want to see, so which register. You can choose dates. We can specify by order type, or we can see, if we want to see what a particular sales representative has been selling, we can do that. In this case, that's what I'm going to do here. We can also sort by products as well. Now, display is actually going to specify what columns you want to display. So it's kind of hard to see back here, but you see here we have year and month on this report. So these are basically the columns that are showing up with the data below them. So if I wanted to do that, for example, I want to pull up the sales representative. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this into the report. And then the sort feature basically specifies how the data will be sorted. So if I want to sort it by, let's say, created, I can add that into the report and it will actually sort the data by that column first. I'm going to go ahead and click save and let's see what comes up on my new custom report. So here you can see that it actually added in the column sales rep when I specified that on the display window. And then it actually is breaking down by year, month, and quantity, and then total number of sales. So that's kind of how we can drill down into the data in Posterita, which is very useful. Okay, let's take a look at another really neat report. This is actually called Sales by Products per Gender. Now, the store that I'm looking at in here is actually a retail apparel shop. There's multiple locations and they also have warehouses. So I'm in the report called Sales by Products per Gender. And as you can see, right now it's only displaying group 5, which is the gender of the clothing. And then it shows the quantity. Well, I actually want to see the total number of sales. So the way that we can edit the template that we have is just click into edit, and I want to add total to the display. So all I'm going to do is go to display and add total and hit save. And now we have the total column here. So we can see that overall, out of all the operations, all the stores, that the biggest selling items are men's items. Now let's say we wanted to look at just on a store level. So I'm going to choose Citadel Bagatelle Store. and I'm going to click refresh. And this actually gives me the breakdown of this specific store. So as you can see, again, in the Bagatelle location for Citadel, that the men's items are the top selling items overall. So that's just some different ways that we can break down the reports. Also, we can break it down by terminal as well. So you can look at each terminal and each terminal sales. So what you should just see here is that overall the reporting features in Posterita are very robust. Because the system has everything in one database and nothing is ever deleted, you can literally create whatever report you need, and it's going to give you real-time information on your business so you can make better strategic decisions. Another thing that we can do with this report is we can actually filter by date. So for example, this would be useful if I wanted to sort it by maybe the last 3 months. So I'm just going to say, let's go back to August 1st, and we will actually set it for today, or excuse me, for today, which is the 24th, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh, and it should pull up all the data for the last 3 months. So interestingly enough, over the last 3 most recent months for this particular store that we have it set on, you can see that the men's items are still the top seller, followed closely by the ladies. So our trends are right on par with what we're seeing overall in the stores. Now, if we scroll over here to the right, we can actually see that you can filter it down even more. So let's see what happens when we do a sales representative. Well, we can see all of the sales of the items for the, Sanjita, the sales representative for the last 3 months. So you can just really drill down. Let's take a look at another report that would be very useful, especially for an apparel retailer. We're going to take a look at size sales. Now, when we pull this report up, size sales is actually designed so that we can see what size t-shirts are our best sellers and our worst sellers. Now, notice here that I can click on quantity, and that's actually going to sort it by, should be ascending to descending order. So here we can see that OS is the top seller of sizes. But let's figure out what our worst seller is and see what that is. So I'm going to click on the last page, and I see that 3XL is actually the second to worst selling item. We've only sold 285 items of this particular size in the last year. So this can actually be very helpful for apparel retailers because you can see realistically what are the best sizes and what are the sizes that you don't need to order as much of. And this can save you a lot on inventory costs and inventory management, so that's very useful. Now, another useful thing for you is that any of these reports you pull up, you can actually export them to a CSV file or a PDF sheet. So you can actually export it and print them off if you wanted to for your records. Now, Posterita's got a lot of great reports. Let's take a look at another one here called Gross Profit. And this report is actually designed to show you your gross profit by item. So this is gross profit per model type. Let's just see what this looks like. Now notice we have a couple of different pricing lists here, so you will have to have this set. But when we pull up this report, I'm going to sort by gross profit because I want to see what the best performer is. And we can see that the top performer is the t-shirt category, and here you can see the gross profit. And if we want to see the worst performing category, we can see that the bolero is on the bottom. And it's probably because this looks like there was a discount made on this item. So again, this report could be particularly useful to let you know what items you should discontinue carrying and what items are your high performers, and could also help you plan for different promotions that you might want to run in your store as well. Let's have one last look at one more report here. I'm going to go back to the home screen, and click reports, and let's take a look at stock sales report. This is a very interesting report. Now I'm in stock sales and I want to show you this report called stock sales by model. So I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to go ahead and sort by quantity sold. And something to take a look at is quantity sold per percentage. So this is saying quantity sold per percentage. You notice that the t-shirt represents 60% of my sales at this store. Now let's look at quantity on hand per percentage, and that equals 58%. So that's basically saying t-shirts represent 60% of my sales at this particular store, and I have 58% on hand. Ideally, if you're doing good stock management for and meeting your sales demand, these numbers should be very close together. So you notice that this particular category is doing well because it's 60 and 58%. Let's look down here. Let's see. So all of these numbers actually look pretty close together. There could be some areas of improvement, but overall, this is a very useful report. Now let's take a look at this report from an entire operation perspective. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and click refresh. And now let's see what numbers come up. All right, so again, this is going to be our overall numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and sort by quantity sold percentage. And we see that overall our quantity for t-shirts sold is 46%, and our quantity on hand is 58%. And we can just kind of go down. Now we see promo would be a promotion, so that's not necessarily an actual product, but we have this top here, quantity sold 7% and quantity on hand is 8. So these numbers are looking pretty good. They're looking pretty close. So that's just another way that you can gauge your inventory management and your stock levels. Well, that's all for today. Have fun sorting through all the reporting capabilities that Posterita can provide for your retail operation, and happy selling!